Good evening, everyone. It is April 16th, 2023. Tight Globex range so far over here on the ES. Just trading within a few handles, actually. Not much movement, just kind of holding the highs there. Holding last week's value area high right around there at 72.5 and holding above that 4 p.m. close. So interesting Globex so far. Now, tomorrow we do have Empire Manufacturing at 8:30 a.m. I'm looking at us being overall in a pretty bid position above 41.44. Like I discussed in the weekly outlook, that's just where we have the halfback, the point of control, and VWAP close all of last week, and notably that's above the March high where we had this nice beautiful ramp into the close of March. So that is what I'm looking at. Overall, you can also see that we've started this nice trend up. It did take a little bit of a hit, but overall, we've been maintaining this nice aggressive trend up. We're still trading inside this February balance for now. However, it's been 2 weeks, much like it had been in February, and I'm looking for us to get that directional move. In February, we had this lower highs consistently occurring, and now we have a case of higher lows occurring. So it looks to me that we'll be getting our breakout, but we'll see what actually happens. Now, trading this, I'm actually not interested in too much. I want to be long 30 or 32s. That's just because we trapped a lot of sellers here on that Thursday morning session. Around there, I want to be long 44 half after a tag of 43s. The idea being I just want to see us tag last week's VWAP and then get long at the weekly point of control. Above there, I want to be long 63 quarter. The reason being is that we do have the week prior's high, if I can just find that. We have that weekly high coming in at, I believe it was at 65 during the RTH. I think there we go, right over here would be our high of the week at 63 quarter. Yeah, so I want to be long 63 quarter. That is where we close the week. That is where our weekly high was from a couple weeks ago. So I think that'll be an important area of interest. I want to take it long after a tag of 60. In other words, after a tag of yesterday's VWAP close and the POC right around there. So I want to see us sell down to about 60 and then to ride it long before we test this 75 area, which we seem to be fiddling around with during the overnight. Above there, I want to be short 77s for a tag of that situation, and then in that case, getting long or entering that short if we open in this sort of balance. So entering this short, 77 short if we open inside this balance, and taking it before a tag or test of that 60 area. So I want to see this area open and untested before getting short. So something like a run and open here, run up, get short, and then test it down here. Now, over on the NQ, discussed this in the weekly outlook, but NQ overall, it looks more bullish, but something to note, it looks more bullish overall this year, but something to note is that it only seems more bullish because of how far we fell last year. If we pull up a little percentage thing over here, there we go. Down 37%. I believe the SPOO's only down about 20, 25%, something like that. So the Nasdaq took a harder hit, and therefore the rally has been looking a little better. However, we are yet to hit that 2022 halfback, that prior year halfback, sitting at 13,498 and some change, I believe. Just pulling this up right now. Yeah, 13,498 half. So let's call it 13.5. We are yet to hit that. So overall, this is just looking distributive to me. We are balancing on top of this February high month, which I believe was 12,950. Yeah, 949 3/4. So we can see we're holding that multiple times last week and the week prior. So to me, it looks like we might be roping in retail longs while this overall zone, as you can see, which has been really, really nice since, since February of last year? Yeah, about 14 months. This has been a notable area, this kind of 13K number. It to me looks like we're just balancing above here and distributing, and that'll go into the lower time frame as well, where we held last week's point of control multiple times. So until we get into that 13,500 number, that prior year halfback, I'm in favor of this being distributive. we're not making new highs, and we're barely holding. We're barely creating new higher lows on the NQ. So to me, the Nasdaq is just looking overall a little bit more distributive at these levels. Now, how am I looking to play this thing tomorrow? Not interested in a lot here either. Here's a 4-hour chart. You can see the levels are pretty clear. Uh, let's go down to a 30-minute. I want to be short 13,218 quarter. That corresponds to the 95% prior week value area high and prior week's VWAP standard deviation 2. That's also where we just had in a lot of highs coming in. Roughly around there last week, kind of around this. I know it's about 206 or something like that, but I want to see us take it a little bit higher towards 218 and get short over there. 157, if we open kind of in this zone over here, this 110 to 140, I want to be short 157. So that's just the point of control from yesterday's session. I understand the level might be around 167 instead. If we just if we cloned this for a second and just slid this down to about 167-ish, something like this, you can see that has been a nice level on this Friday session. You can see it was nice as well on this Thursday, and then last week as well, kind of gave a nice bid, held an offer there. If you can zoom in for a second, there we go, right around here. So held a nice offer there, continue the downtrend, gave us a nice bids, and something a little both sides there. However, I'll be playing that as a 157 short if we open here. Below there, I want to be long 116s after a tag of last week's VWAP close at 99. So taking a long 116s after we get into that weekly VWAP, seeing us support the average price from last week, and then getting long at this level here at 116. Again, perhaps this should be, maybe it should be 105 or something like that. However, I will be using the structure that I'm looking at, the levels that appear to be clear to me. Similarly, getting long 070s after a run of these lows, just getting long that weekly point of control at 70 quarter. If we run yesterday's lows and come back above, I will take that 70 quarter long for a move back up towards this kind of 100 to 120-ish area. Up below there, I'm aware that 13,012 to 20 has been a critical level here. As you can see, if you go down to the left side of the chart, you can see this 12 to 20 zone has been important, both on the long side and then on the short side, and then gave a nice bid during that pre-market on Thursday's Ripper, and then was important here as well in March. However, I just don't really want to be long as the NQ approaches lows, given that it overall looks distributive to me. So not a lot of trades setting up for me. I've got 5 setups going into tomorrow. I doubt I get more than one shot, maybe. And then on the smooth, same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then way up here, a gap close at 42.30 that I'll be taking short. But other than that, not really seeing anything of interest. I'll be waiting for this thing to develop out a little bit more. Maybe Tuesday or Wednesday we get some more information. But for me, I'm looking for a breakout to occur overall this week on both tickers. And not sure if it's up or down. Not sure what really happens from here. But that's what I'm looking at for tomorrow. Should have a clearer idea by the time we open up the RTH and Globex has kind of moved around a little bit. London opens and all that. Other than that, have a great night and trade safe, you guys.